Checking to make sure that we're not muted. Hey guys, we're not muted. Hey.
Yeah.
Hi. It's been like Check's Imaginary Watch 1,000 years since we've last played this. Hope everyone's been doing well. Welcome back to Against the Tides. This is our homebrew campaign set in the continent of Wildemount in the wonderful world of Exandria. I am joined today in every session by our wonderful group of players. We're going to kick it off with a round of introductions as per usual. So we're going to start it off with Sarah. Hey, Sarah.
Yeah, hi. I'm Sarah. Oh, Sarah Franco to be specific, because there's a lot of Sarahs, but there's only one that is me. Tonight I will be playing Kelly Sparkspinner, the Forest Gnome Druid Bard, which is a delight to be, and I'm pretty sure we just smushed a dragon. It's unclear,
Nope.
but I hope that we find out. Never, or at some point. I'm happy either way. Passing it on down to Chum.
We didn't do that. That we definitely didn't do that.
What, smush a dragon?
Nope.
I don't know what this means. I'm gonna keep saying it because you keep doing that.
I think she might be right, but I guess we'll find out. I'm Chum. Full name, Chum Nation, at least on the internet. And I'm playing Anders Oberyn, the human. Let's see if I remember this. Shadow Monk Soul Knife Rogue. That's it. I don't really want to see any more dragons, but it is Dungeons and Dragons, so it's always a chance, I guess. So, we'll pass on over to Ty.
Hey everyone, I am Ty, full name, Dr. Tyrant. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Dr. Tyrant. I'm playing Mr. with Iron Fist, let me see if I can remember, Mountain Dwarf, Oath of Redemption Paladin, and I'm pretty sure we got smushed by a dragon. That's what I remember, at least. So, I don't know. We'll see what the full explanation is here in a moment, right?
Hi everybody, I'm Bright. You can find me on all forms of social media at Bright Dystopia. And tonight I'm playing and we did not smash a dragon. We killed it.
Not smash.
We didn't do anything else to it.
She said smush, not smash.
I heard what you said.
Different.
It's super not.
I didn't smash anything.
I didn't do anything to the dragon, especially after it was dead. I want it on record. I didn't lay a finger in that dragon.
Oh my god!
I swear you didn't. There's no video, so you can't prove anything.
Nope.
Tapes.
I don't know how to feel right now.
16 minutes.
Oh,
Chat, clip that.
God. Yeah. Hey, chat, we're always on the hunt for funny and silly clips. Good moments, silly, dumb moments, whatever you got, just clip the shit out of it. We would appreciate it. Thank you very much. I guess that ropes it back over to me. Hey, what's up? I'm Ash and Rabbit here on Twitch and all over the internet. I am the GM for this, which mostly just means we all get to hold hands together in a circle and come up with a story together. So that's basically what we're here for. As per usual, in recent times, because I'm wicked bad at coming up with a recap, we're gonna throw it over to Sarah, who's gonna give her best old-timey announcer voice recap of the hell happened last time based on her good notes, if you so choose. Anyone else is welcome to also do this if they'd like, but I feel like everyone just keeps nominating Sarah for this.
I nominate Sarah.
Yes.
Second.
I third.
Breaking news, we've been nominated to establish the lore of this campaign. We will be doing so currently. Last time in the mines of Stonegarden, we talked about how we were feeling. Some of us were feeling anxious, others scared, violent, and I felt like a bear. Later, the party pursued Kelby the bear, who is wrapped around the queen, trying to wrench it from the evil holds of Noodle Taltak. More on that noodle condition later. There was a cart chase in which Mistwind surfed on some treasure Poigny fell from the skies like an angel, which doesn't make any sense. We're getting conflicting messages. Is he demon or is he angel? More on that at 10. We fought and we did cool shit, and eventually Noodle Taltak gave up the queen. Anders was able to secure a hidey hole and watched it all unfold, but lo and behold, underneath the treasure there was something lurking. It was in fact a rust dragon. Noodle Taltak said, "That bitch is mine," and put its little tentacles in it. Therefore taking over the being. It was, quote unquote, fucked as shit. The dragon grew multiple heads, and in a moment of panic, let me check my notes here, because wait, we're getting conflicting reports. I'm pretty sure it was Poigny. Yes, Poigny enlarged the very spoopy dragon. Really large, really big. And it filled up the entire cavern. And the fact that we didn't die is quite frankly astonishing. The last phrase that we recall was, "You just Benjamin Buttoned a dragon." Poigny flirted with Mistwin's mom, and that was kind of fucking weird. Anders comforts the party, saying that it's going to be all right, while Kelby was scared, and Mistwin took upon himself to heal the rest of the party. Everyone needs a nap. We enter the scene on Poigny becoming Mistwin's new stepfather, Kelby wondering how the heck she even bears it. Mistwin glaring at everyone, and Anders trying to keep it cool. Back to you, GM.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I think the last couple times we've done this, I've just given you DM inspiration. I think everyone's just gonna get a D12 that they can add to their rolls at any time.
Nice.
Just everyone getting to, like, live through that, because I think we all just won.
True.
I won.
True.
All up in my pants.
Oh my god. Okay, well, hey y'all. So
Somebody clip that. I need a clip of that.
every time, man. It's just we're just
20.
farming for
20,
ridiculous
30.
20
Got it.
minutes.
Fucking hell, man. I've got a
4.
whole column on my notes page that's just for clips, and we already have 3. So thanks, y'all. We are just barely in this. You guys are ridiculous. So setting the scene here. You all are returning from this massive cavern with the rust dragon somehow taken care of at this point, with a cave-in and all that. Having escaped from that with the pulley system of the carts, reunited with the king and the queen in the long, long hallway, making your way all back to the Gemfire Keep. We've got Poigny, who is currently obsessed with Queen Ophelia. Queen Ophelia, who is now leaning on both her son and her husband here. And Anders and Kelby bringing up the rear, very likely. Or who knows, maybe Anders is up front? What are you guys doing walking back here?
I feel like that's accurate. Like, that resonates with me. Like, we've got the dwarf family reunion kind of up front with Poigny, like, just kind of fixing his hair or something. With
Gently
Kelby
stroking my beloved's hand, plucking the small strands of rubble and straw from her golden hair, looking lovingly into her eyes.
What's Mistwin doing while he's doing this?
Whispering sweet nothings.
Mistwin is silently wishing that he had kept at least one spell slot for Smite.
Just a single one.
Just a single. But I am thoroughly tapped at this point. So, exhausted, beaten to hell.
Same.
Just trying to get everybody back to the throne room, I guess.
It's been a long day. Pretending to be guards, being invisible, finding your parents after a long, long time, confronting the previous now defunct overseer who turned into a weird noodly monster, who then also tried to basically summon Tiamat via a rust dragon in a mysterious cavern behind your keep. It's typical Wednesday in Stonegarden.
Hey, Anders.
Yes.
What was that thing? It was it was the biggest creature I've ever seen.
Yes, that was a dragon, but I've never heard of or read about one of such a, what is the word? Skin type. I've never read about one that was sort of decaying like that. It was very strange. I will make note of it, and for sure.
About,
you guys kidding? Just go get them.
What about the thing that happened to it? What Taltak did? Have you ever seen that before?
No, that's a new one for me too. It's also definitely going in my notes. I've not seen this type of... Well, I've not seen a lot of types of magic before. I've only read about them in books, but that was something very strange and powerful. I do not understand it. I want to, but I do not.
We should be really careful, I think. If it can do that to something like a dragon, what could it do to something like us? And I don't know about you, but I think I'm pretty content with the number of tentacles I have right now, which is 0, for the record.
I mean, I could see how it would be useful, particularly with some of my skills, but it seemed like the cost would be too much. Too much. We should definitely be careful. You're right. We are living in strange times. Strange times.
Yeah. Sorry. I think the weirdest thing I'm seeing right now, though, is Pointy braiding the queen's hair right now? That's really... He is. Oh my god, is that a French braid?
That's not right. That is not going to end well.
No, that's exactly how you French braid. You have to pull through background. What do you mean it's not right?
Yes. Oh, yes, correct. Not what I meant, but...
Oh, you meant the personal space thing.
Yes, it is not... That is not going to go well. Oh.
No. But it will be exciting.
Oh yes, we will definitely be there to witness all of it. For sure.
If Turley was here, I bet he'd want to make a bet about it.
I miss Turley.
Me too.
You got into the throne room yet?
It does take you guys probably, like a solid 5 to 10 minutes of walking. Hello, frog. Get out of there. A solid 5 to 10 minutes of walking down this extremely long hallway to get back to the Gemfire Keep. But yes, you do eventually arrive. And the scene is very much the same as you have left it, except the... What is it? Like the followers of Taltak are no longer there. The massive piles of wealth in gem and gold form are still there. It's empty otherwise. There's no one else here right now.
It's
They both nod at you.
I can't help but think that this is exactly what I wanted to avoid when I left. Putting too much power in one or two hands. It's easy to corrupt.
Your mother will reach out and just, like, clasps your hands together. It's not your fault. You did what you needed to do.
Hey,
And she'll reach up and put a hand on the side of your cheek. Oh, you look not today over 150.
well, things have been weird. Time has been weird.
What do you mean?
Well, technically, we've been jumping through time, me and my compatriots. We found some artifact that helped us do it, but we're somewhat out of place here. I didn't mean to be away for so long. But I'm back now.
We're glad to have you back. Are you staying long?
Unfortunately, I can't. There's things that need to be done, but we're going to make sure you and power, the kingdom, are set up right.
Well, that's good. Thank you. What have you been up to for all this time?
Would you mind just for a moment?
Oh, oui. I will not be fat, my love. And I stroke her cheek as I leave.
I'm sorry for him. He, I think, is under some sort of spell.
I can see the glimmer in his eye. It's alright. I know it's not really him. Unless it is, then...
I wouldn't put it past him, but I think it's a spell, so...
Feels like it.
I've been looking for a place to put Elias to rest.
Aye.
Still haven't found one.
That's alright. He deserves the best spot. It's going to take some time.
Went all over the place. I traveled to Marquette. There were some nice mountains there, but not good enough. Came back and met these goons. Everything's been wonky ever since.
She'll kind of glance at the group around you. Quickly, what is everyone else doing other than Ponya? We know that he's currently enamored with Queen Ophelia. Unless you are doing something completely different.
Just like fixing his own hair and like making sure his horns are straight.
Just preening, you know.
Getting ready to peacock.
What are Kelby and Anders doing right now?
Kelby would just she's looking around the throne room, kind of observing the piles of treasure. And as she stands there, still pretty close to Anders, she has her hands in her pockets, like kind of fidgeting. And if Anders has really high perception, he would notice that Kelby's kind of like doing the
Passive 19.
Right. And like you would notice that she is actively like fighting, falling asleep on her feet.
All right. Yeah, Anders is just, well, standing with Kelby, but giving Mistwin, the space to have this reunion with his parents, but also is kind of chomping at the bit to ask some questions.
Mm-hmm.
But he's going to wait until a better time.
Okay. The queen, having excuse me, glanced over your group here, will turn to you, Miss Twin. Is still like holding onto your hand. She hasn't let go at all. I think you found a good group.
Well, found stumbling to fate seems to have tied us together, but we're making the best of it.
That's what
The good
fate
people.
does.
The good people.
Hey.
Mother, we're all tired. It might be best to talk in the morning, but
Right.
I need to prepare you. Things have to change around here.
I want nothing more than change to happen. For the good. Not for anything else.
If you wouldn't mind, round up whatever guards you have left, any loyals, and send them to the mines. Stop what's going on there. And when we reconvene to talk, can you please bring Dussick Redspine? He was trying to organize humanitarian aid for the people in the mines, and I want him to join us.
I have heard of this Dussick. He's even come into the keep several times to try and plead with Taltak. Obviously that didn't really work, but happy to see that he never really stopped.
I think it would benefit all of our people and us if we hear what he has to say moving forward.
Absolutely.
But
rest first.
Yes, rest.
Well, most of the quarters aren't quite the same anymore. They've been, she kind of looks around, gilded a bit more than I would prefer. It's not really my choice of decoration, but they're still quite plush, so you'll find rest comfortably.
Are my old chambers and the guest quarters available?
Quite dusty, but yeah.
It'll do. Thank you, Mother.
Of course. And your father has been like silent this whole time, just like scanning every like atom of you, just trying to drink in your appearance here, commit it to memory. So you'll see throughout the conversation he's like staring at your hair, and kind of like his eyes are guiding around like part of the curls of your hair and down the braided parts of your beard, and he tries to lock eyes with you, but is mostly just like patiently waiting because he knows you're speaking to your mother and doesn't want to interrupt, but is doing everything he can to keep this memory fresh for him.
I'm actively avoiding eye contact with him. But as she moves aside, Father?
Son?
I'm glad you are all right.
Same to you.
If you'll excuse us, I think we should rest.
He'll just like reach a hand out to try and like clap you on the shoulder, but like hesitate and hold back and just wrap his arm around your mother instead. Question for you. Before you left, did Stonegarden have anything in place to allow for like like announcements or anything? Was there like a massive horn or anything to allow people to know to like gather at a certain place, or was there any sort of magic in place to let people know? Like,
there was absolutely a horns in the deep kind of thing, you know. I think there was probably a longhorn type, like almost battle. Oh yeah, no, there were. This is the memory I have with my brother, there was horns being blared. So
okay,
there's definitely some sort of alarm system.
Okay. As you start to guide your friends out of the keep, and towards like the guest quarters, you'll see your father break off from his mother at one point to a small door, roughly King Brahm sized, that appears to be like in ill repair. This is like a door just outside of the main doors into the keep. And it kind of looks like he has to put some force behind it to kind of open it, and you'll see that part of it has like kind of caved in a little bit, but you know where he's going. And another couple minutes of walking out of the keep and towards the quarters out in like the big open area. Again, walking towards the place where you can rest. You feel everything start to shake, and very soon after hear the deep bellows of the horns. There's like a strange squeak at first, which you could only imagine is just the sound of disuse from so long, and it's probably like an obstructed horn where it's just caked with dirt and dust. But that moment quickly subsides and is met with the sound of the horns that you know very well. The sound echoes throughout the caverns, kind of shaking everything in place. And within another 2 to 4 minutes or so, you see all of the like steamwork stuff that you've seen basically since you've entered the mines of Stonegarden and the city as a whole cease. The steam production ends to a point where the pipes start to creak, and it feels like they were only being held together by the pressure of the steam, and with that steam missing, they kind of start to slide a bit. And for a second, you can hear cheers coming from down in the mines. It's faint, and it sounds like another one of the horns further down that would have been used to pass along the message have also rung true as well. Probably takes you guys another couple minutes to get to the area where the guest quarters are. There's plenty of options to choose from. They're all very heavily gilded and really gaudy, very comfortable. There's already like servants there waiting to take care of you all. You'll see some of them have like what is it, like iconography that would have been similar to what Taltak was wearing, ripped off of whatever their uniforms are. So they've all essentially felt liberated enough to just handle it themselves and just get back to business.
Whenever we see the main bulk of the servants, I approach one of them and just say, take the night off. Go celebrate. We don't need you.
Most of them seem hesitant, but one person, a younger dwarf that you don't recognize, seems all too excited at the chance and eventually rustles the rest of the group together. Them taking off their hats and sashes and stuff and just kind of like leaving them in the hallway and running down into like more common areas where everyone is gathering, and the sound of joyous rapture is being echoed throughout all the caverns and stuff. But where you guys are, it's relatively quiet and calm.
Is everybody okay?
Just tired, my friend. Quite spent.
Great. Well, Kelby, you look like you're about to topple over.
What?
Get some sleep.
No, I'm fine. I just hurry. Oh, just rally and then And Kelby just kind of like leans against Anders and falls asleep.
I'll show them all to respective chambers. There should be plenty, one for each. And then I'll make my way to my old bedroom.
Mistwin, un moment. A question.
Yes, please.
Where did you say your parents' bedchamber was?
God damn it.
It's about 4 hallways down, around the corner, and up your ass.
Okay, I wish to express my gratitude for them for letting us stay here.
Well, I'm sure the dungeons have gotten plenty of use, but they can take one more hellion, I'm sure.
Your mother has a dungeon? She does not seem the type.
Well, you'll quickly see.
I am intrigued.
Good night, Pointy.
See. Bonne nuit.
I'm gonna make it to my bedroom, go in, close the door, and just slump down back against the door, staring at the ceiling.
It's not too different in here. It's been relatively untouched. You would have had to have, like, bought a board off of the door in order to get in here in the first place. So entering in here, it's just choked with dust. Like, you try to even light a candle or think about it, and it would take a while because it's just caked with neglect, basically. But it's very much the same as you remember it. Might need to pat down the bed before you sleep on it, lest you just suffer an eternal amount of allergies. But it's your room.
And just take out the urn, put it next to me, and just sit and doze off back against the door. No need to go to the bed. Fall asleep anywhere.
Mm-hmm. And you do. Sleep comes to all of you pretty easily. It's up to you to, you know, have the autonomy to determine how quickly or how long it takes for you to fall asleep. But once you do, you feel content and calm, knowing that you've done something good here today.
But we do get a long rest.
You do get a long rest. Thank you for asking. I haven't done this in a while. Hey, Anders. What do you
Yes.
What do you dream about this evening? What comes to mind?
I think Anders has some kind of symbolic dream about what's the word? Just the uneasiness and unsure of, what has happened in the time that they missed, so he started out on a quest, for his order, and now, so much time has passed that he's not sure, besides one cryptic message he received, that of who is, alive and dead, and, the status of things. So he probably has kind of very chaotic dreams of, just trying to reach something that he can't quite reach, and he sleeps, but it's uneasy.
Okay. I'm gonna say this now so we can stagger it. What level are you guys right now? 9?
9.
17.
9.
Please level up to level 11.
Oh, fuck.
Shit.
What?
Oh shit.
Yeah. So we're gonna use this this downtime of everyone talking about their dreams and stuff to allow you guys to do that. Does Anders dream about anything else other than currently gaining power?
Yeah. No, that's really it. It just plagues on his mind. He's focused on his task, so to speak, but always that doubt of, is what he's, seeking still available?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Excellent. Thank you. I know I kind of just threw you all for a curveball here, but I'm going to ask Poignet next. What do they dream of?
Well, I was rolling a few dice because I had to remember what spell that you had me under, thanks to the surge. It was antipathy and sympathy was the spell.
Yes.
And I just realized that when she's not in view, I start making saves at the end of each round. So after about 12 seconds, once she goes back to her bed chambers, Twani kind of comes to his senses when he's in his own room. And as he beds down, he starts to think how much he hated that. He's been of his own free will and volition for a decade plus. And being under the compulsion of something else it's really uncomfortable all of a sudden. And he starts to go to sleep with those thoughts in his head, and he dreams of being back with the Horde. But this time it's not relived as like a dream. It's experienced as if he's having a nightmare, like he's afraid of the experience, of the sounds, of the compulsion to do another being's will, and he wakes up several times throughout the night and goes back to sleep to the same nightmare throughout. He'll wake up the next day with at least a little bit of apprehension about what his goals are.
Okay. Let's see here. During one of the times that you awaken, you hear a message in your head from a voice you do not recognize at all. And it says, "I've discovered you are pretending to be me. This is a new low of torture, even from you, husks. Please stop. Signed, Poignet." Would that influence your nightmares at all?
This is what you just read was something I hear in my head.
Yep.
It'll probably be... At least once or twice, it'll repeat throughout the other background noise. The screams, the explosions, the fire. And then occasionally a word from what he heard will like echo in. Pretender. Imposter. Stop. That's it.
Okay. Thank you. You missed one. What you dream about, buddy?
I think missed one for the first time in a long time. Sleeps pretty soundly. His typical REM activity is along the lines of him reliving the worst day of his life, and that's been exasperated ever since heading back home. But now that he's here and he's done some good to save not only his family but his kingdom. I'm not sure he dreams at all. I think he's just at peace. Unless there's something that you want to inject there.
I think I would just have a question of seeing his parents in such a state where he knows them to be strong and sentinel-like, but in a way that is there to benefit the people. To see them so chained, for lack of a better term. Does that influence that at all? I know now with the resolution, he's likely feeling much calmer, but the time between seeing them under the influence of someone else and then being freed was not a quick turnaround by any means, but it was pretty quick at the same time. So, is there any sort of whiplash with that?
I think it solidifies his recent thoughts that maybe it's time for greater change. Maybe it's time that the Iron Fist family take a back seat. And There are clearly other like-minded individuals in this kingdom that would do great good for the people that live in it. And if the power were to be dispersed some, maybe something like this won't be able to happen again.
Okay. Thank you. A lovely Miss Kelby. What is our sweet little gnome dream about?
Kelby, who falls asleep before she even realizes it. I think Anders is probably gonna have to help get her like to a place.
Yeah, I was
where
gonna
she
say,
can
I
pass
think
out.
he probably carried her to bed and tucked her.
100%. That's 100%. That's what I was picturing. And Kelby, who's like still kind of in all her clothes and is kind of curled up. As she begins to dream, there's a part of her mind that like kind of sighs, like, here we go, like here come the stories. But as she falls asleep and expects to have the same dream of sitting at a tavern and having a line of figures coming up to her, it's different. She dreams of a forest, a familiar one, a soft mist lurking in the trees, everything green and vibrant, and the smell of life and rain. She knows that this is home, and there's like a fear for a moment. And as she starts walking through the trees, the people start to kind of emerge from behind the trees, coming up to her, like trying to wave her down, and she gets overwhelmed. Like she recognizes like they need to tell a story, but she's close to home and she's close to what she wants to see. So she puts a hand out and starts to move kind of away from these people. As they come out from a tree, she'll take a turn and move in a different direction, as almost frantically, as more and more figures emerge from behind the trees, and she finds herself leaving the path, darting through the trees, until eventually she reaches a clearing, and in it there's this beautiful moonlight, bright and ethereal. It shines like it's almost impossible to look at. And she feels a moment of like, oh, thank God, as she remembers what she saw the last time she saw this light. And as she takes a step into the clearing, she hears a sound, and she turns and looks as a dark figure cuts across the light towards the source of this bright light. And it feels wrong, but she doesn't know what to do. And she watches as the dark figure moves out towards the light, and she can see its backdrop lift up a knife towards the light, and she screams and goes to like stop it, but is held back by the hands of all these people who have finally caught her and is pulling her back into the forest as she screams at this figure, who turns with a familiar face and scowls. And Kelby wakes up just as the arm drops towards the light.
I'm gonna DM you a question of who that might have been. I have a sneaking suspicion.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that we're on the same page.
Correct.
Cool. All right. Sick. Thank you so much. I'm going to ask you this, and I should have asked everyone else this, but for those that are watching that don't know, there's a thing that I try to do and often forget to do as like a prompt in between sessions for the players. It's usually a way to help them understand their character a little bit better, help them understand the current situation a little bit better. And I think for the first time in a while, everyone responded, which is really nice. It's always optional too, which is totally fine. It's entirely up to them whether or not they want to respond to the prompt, because very often they're incentivized. Sometimes it's like, hey, you get advantage on your first attack in the next combat encounter, or like you get to add +5 to your initiative, whatever the hell. But you all responded, and you all received a response at the same time. Does what you received in your response, Kelby, have any influence on your dream at all? It doesn't necessarily have to. It's not really a leading question. I'm just curious.
I think as Kelby wakes up, she's frantic. Like, she's in a place that she doesn't recognize. She's had a horrible nightmare, and that dark figure has finally been given a face, like that she's seen all these dreams. Normally he stands in the door.
Mm-hmm.
And so she is terrified, and she'll be reaching around trying to find her spell focus, her grandfather's spell focus. And while looking for it, I think she will reach in her, like in one of her pockets, and pull out the emerald gem that somehow found its way there.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll be confused because what the fuck? I didn't take anything. What is this? And as she holds it and kind of feels that hum, I think it gives her like a room to breathe. And she'll take that, eventually finding the focus as well. But fascinated at this thing in her pocket, she'll lay back down on her pillow, like on the verge of tears, and just hold both of them to her chest. And that hum of that new gem will kind of help her. She hears a note in it, and starts humming along with it, to help clear her mind and find just a different thought, something that's not fear, something that's not shame, something that's not desperation.
Mm-hmm.
And holding that, she'll fall back asleep. And it will be the familiar dream of the tavern and people coming and telling their stories, but she won't be alone. There's almost a sound backing her, giving her a little bit more encouragement.
Okay. That's very good. Thank you. Eventually, you all will find yourselves waking, rested, feeling a little bit stronger. Andrew's having dreams of a cute puppy. So fucking cute. I can't.
That's a good boy.
Good pupper.
Anders wakes up with Fergus licking his face.
Yeah, that's perfect. Oh my
yes.
god. You know what? Can I do an insert here? Real quick? In your absence, in the absence of Fergus, your parents have adopted a dog that's very similar to Fergus. And this is the real version of what Fergus might look like, but young.
Is it Fergus when he was alive?
When he was alive.
When he was alive. Oh god. But yeah,
This pleases me.
It is the real life version that your parents have been allowed to keep. Okay, so you all wake up after a relatively restful night's sleep. Some having semi-chill dreams, or not even dreaming at all. some reliving nightmares. If we want to amend what your dreams might have been like towards the end of the night based on the conversation we had with Kelby and what she had found after coming out of the cavern, that's totally fine. If no notes are further needed, we can just CC everyone on the forwarded email and just continue on with this this Microsoft Teams meeting. Does anyone have anything else that they wanted to add?
I think just pertaining to the downtime conversation we had, shortly after we left the cavern, Mistwind also reached into his pocket and pulled out a chunk of unrefined diamond, and in it, for just a flash, he saw his brother's face and his sister's face smiling back at him. And then it was gone. But with that assurance, I think that's why he slept so well.
Sorry, I unmuted at the wrong time. My bad.
I love that you unmuted the sneeze.
Yeah, you know.
Fuck your brother, bro.
It's a thing I'm doing right now. Yeah, screw your little monologue. Sorry.
It's fine. At least you knew I had a brother.
Look, I got this new little foot pedal thing, and you know, just trying to get used to it.
I want one of those. That's fine.
But no, I think that's why I slept so well, just with that reassurance.
Okay. Poignet, did yours adjust itself at all with the like segmented sleep that you had?
Yes, I remember. The dreams that I'm having are specifically because of what Poignet was given or found or stumbled across.
You don't know.
No, it absolutely is. The fact that it's an uncut rough ruby that is somehow in his image puts the simultaneous idea of being back home because of the size of the ruby and it being, you know, one of those components needed. But also like being an individualized item in his image gives him like a weird sense of self mixed with everything that's been going on. I think Poignet is going through a little bit of an identity crisis here. We'll see. It's the start of some things that might be tweaking with your boy. We'll see how it manifests. Still chewing.
Okay. Anything different with Anders at all, or just kind of chilling? Fine.
No, I assume we're still all in our individual chambers. All right.
Yeah. No one said otherwise, so.
No, nothing to add.
Okay.
I would like to get up a little early,
Okay.
and I'm going to roam down the halls, kind of trying to slip past everybody else that's still sleeping. And I'm going to go to the room that my brother used to live in. I'm just going to stand at the doorway for a minute as the vision of the last time I stepped foot in this room flashes through my head, and My fingers just slightly brush the urn that's hanging at my side
Mm-hmm.
before I step in, and it's clean. Not super clean. I mean, it's probably fallen into disrepair, just like all the other rooms, but clean of the sorrow that once fell in here. And I look around, just kind of walking around the room, remembering good times. After a minute or two, I'll leave, and I'm gonna slip away for a little bit, and I'll DM you, Ash, what I'm gonna do.
Okay. So Miss Wynn is taking a individual regathering tour of the keep here. Do you all meet up? You all would have had like a servant like rap at your door, inform you that breakfast would be served in the banquet hall just down the way and to the left and all that. So you all would have been informed to a place where you could gather. You all know where each of you stayed. Anders especially knowing where Kelby stayed because he was the one that tucked her in. Do you guys meet up beforehand? Do you not? What do you do?
Anders will go to Kelby's room and knock on the door.
She would answer. Her hair is going to be more disheveled than usual.
I said I was. Sorry. There was just a person came and knocked earlier. I'm not. Sorry, Anders. I'm not used to. All the fancy.
This is a new look.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
And she's gonna comb her fingers through her hair a little bit. It's not gonna fix it at all. As she,
yeah. I didn't. I slept well, but I didn't sleep well. If that makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense, actually. A lot of sense. Are you hungry?
Yeah. Did you not sleep well either? Is everything okay?
I mean, everything is as okay as it can be, but we are in uncharted territory, are we not?
Yeah, I suppose so. Here, let me just...
let me just grab something. And she'll go back into the room, disappearing, and you'll hear her rummaging around, and she'll come back out holding her lute. And she, nothing else. Like, she's got her lute in her hands. Her clothes are still a little disheveled, and she seems like she's working on an ice. She seemed distracted as she walks with you through the halls.
Yes, we... These are interesting times. I find that, it is difficult when you set yourself on a path, right? And it is a clear path. And then the world gives you a curved path. And there's nothing you can do about it because it is your path. but when it isn't what you expect, it is disorienting.
Who? I'm sorry. What is your path, Anders?
Well, I mean, I set out to accomplish a goal. I'm trying to prove myself to my family, to my order, so that I may join them and make a difference. But with the way things are now, it seems I am in the position to make much more of a difference than I ever thought. And by when I say I mean we. I don't mean that I am doing this alone.
No, of course not, Anders. Hey, Anders.
And Kelby will just stop, like walking in the hall.
Anders, you trust me, right?
I do.
And I trust you. And we're friends, and Mistwin and Poigny and Turley and but we don't really tell each other things, do we? You've got this path and this thing you have to prove, and your order and all of that. And I mean, I'll be honest, Anders, I haven't been fully honest with you guys either. And what happens when we fight a dragon and we don't make it? What happens to your story if I can't tell it? Or you can't tell mine?
No, I understand what you are asking. I am in a difficult position because in order to preserve the ability to do what we do, some things must remain unsaid. And if someone like me should fall, it is tragic that their story would not be known, but it is known already by those of us who knew them that when they fell, they were doing something of the utmost importance. Does that make sense?
I would say that I'm not being nosy, but I absolutely am, and I recognize that. And I would say that, yeah, sure, that's fine. You're giving me an answer, but you're not, and we both know that. And it's okay. It's okay. I just...
Let me say this. Where I am from, most people operate alone. They are unknown, they're unseen, but they are doing very important things. It is extremely rare that they will have friends, make relationships, and have people that they trust aside from their brothers and sisters. But I find myself in a unique position where I must trust you and Miss Twin, and even Poignet, to a degree, at arm's length, sometimes. But at this moment, it is impossible for me to share exactly those details, no matter how much I want to. But there may come a time where I must. And I'm prepared for that. But right now I need you to respect that there is greater purpose behind my secrecy.
I mean, yes, fuck. I mean, I get it. I do. I promise. I understand, and it's so important, and all the things. I guess. I don't have some bigger, higher purpose. I'm just scared. And that's why I don't tell you guys things. And maybe I should, and maybe this is me projecting and trying to assert control over a situation that it feels out of control. But I just... What if the light goes out? And none of us can sing it later. This is a lot before we've eaten anything, and I'm really sorry. I just had a lot of really weird dreams, and there was... It's fine. We should meet up with the others. It's okay.
So before they move on, Anders will kneel down so that he is face to face with Kelby, and he'll take her hand. You're my friend, Kelby. You will always be my friend. And whether you choose to share things about your past, that is your business. I will not judge you based on those because I know what you have done in the present. And when I talk about the path, it is not something that we are subjected to, it is something that we travel along. It's not something we can control, but it is something that we can act upon. And by your actions, you have earned my trust. So whatever has happened in your past, it might be an entertaining story, but I really do not care. I only care about what you do in the present. And so far, that has been exceptional. So whether or not you choose to share, whether or not choose to share, time will tell. But for now, we are friends, we are family, and we are all we have. So let's go have some breakfast.
Okay. Yeah.
And Kelby will keep hold of Anders' hand as we walk to go find breakfast.
Okay. Does Poignet do anything in specific? Waking up, being told that breakfast is down the hall.
Poignet probably wakes up a little haggard this morning. He's rested, but he's feeling the effects of the up and down sleep. He doesn't do anything particularly different except for the fact that when he's down at breakfast, he has everything with him as if he's ready to leave in a moment's notice. Being with this group for what amounts to probably a 10-day in game time has taught him that they are magnets for chaos, which isn't terrible, but he's decided he's going to be more prepped for such things in the future.
Okay.
He's also going to spend a lot of time on that infernal puzzle box that Turley left him.
Love this. I love this so much. So, Poignet gathering all of his Exandrian belongings. I would say earthly belongings, but this isn't Earth. Anders and Kelby making their way down the hallway and towards the banquet hall, and Mistwind following shortly after. You all find yourselves in a version of a banquet hall that Mistwind remembers, but one that is currently in the process of being de-godified. It is halfway towards returning to, normalcy. Whereas the other half, you can see workers working to rip shitty tapestries off the wall, and there's construction noises as they're taking hammers to gold crown molding that really just doesn't belong here. Whole bunch of just really awful decorations being hauled out of this massive hall by, servants and people that are willing to help. Even just regular citizens have found their way up here, trying to restore the kingdom to what it once was. And it's going to take some time, but already being able to see that in motion is kind of a freeing feeling. The spread before you is massive, and unlike anything any of you have ever seen, even you, Mistwind, this is rivaling some of the largest parties that have been hosted here. It looks like they've pulled out all the stops for all of you as a thank you for helping to liberate this place. And it's not just you four that are here. It's, the king and the queen, and you see Dussick Redspine here, and you see a long line of citizens here, all with plates, all just ready to, go up and down this buffet of this table, kind of skirting around where you guys are sitting if you choose to sit, but, kind of congregating in small areas. Most of them are taking their plates of heaping piles of food with them outside of the banquet hall and away from the keep. And you hear basically just the sound of revelry and happiness echoing into this banquet hall. So literally anything that you can think of, more or less, is here and present for you to consume. And as previously said, the king and queen are here. You have Dussick Redspine, a couple of his people kind of up near the front of the table where you all are sitting. Yeah, what do you guys do?
He does not partake of food, but he finds booze.
There's plenty of it.
When this one rejoins the party, he was gone for a couple hours in the morning, and he returns. One thing that you all notice is he is now wearing dark leather bracers that seem to be very new, and studded throughout the bracers are small to medium-sized gemstones that are just kind of sewn within.
Hi, Miss Wren.
Oh, hi, Gilby. I hope you slept well. Please, everyone, feel free to eat. Don't skimp on the rock lobster soup. It's a Stonegarden delicacy.
What's a lobster?
It's a type of crustacean. You know what a crab is? You might have seen some in Palmaflora. They've got the pinchers.
Uh-huh. What's a crab?
Kelby, like, just
Like, I don't. Yes, I mean, listen. Miss Wren, I'm gonna level with you. I've heard of crabs, but not in this kind of connotation. And so I really need to know right now that you're not talking about what I think I'm talking about, or vice versa. Because while I appreciate your lovely home, I don't think I will be eating the crabs if they're what I think they are. Just please tell me they're not what I think they are.
Mistman just points to a dish in the middle of the table that has a blue-shelled crab on it. That's a crab, Kelby. It's a type of animal.
Okay, because I'm pretty sure they're not the same thing, but given the conversation I had in that one tavern where the guy said, and I quote, they were huge, I feel like it could be still, so I'm good.
Right. Eat up, everyone. Kelby, don't. You can eat other things. That's fine.
Anders gets a giant plate of crab stuff and brings it back and sits next to Kelby and starts eating it.
Holding a bottle of wine, he sits on the other side of Kelby and glances over at Anders' pile of crabs. And sort of just like rolls his eyes as he drinks, and he goes, "They're like scorpions, but a little gayer, perhaps."
Scorpion? I don't know. You guys.
Yes, effeminate scorpions is essentially what crabs are.
Can you draw one?
A scorpion?
Yeah.
No. But, and I think I have this spell. Let me double check. I can't remember. Yeah, he'll minor illusion a little black scorpion. You see, without the tail, but they still have the little hand forks, hand scissors.
Okay. Yeah, I think you.
And Anders will minor illusion a crab that's bigger than the scorpion, and it will like teabag the scorpion.
What is it doing? Why is it doing that? What is that?
It is attempting to
It's giving it crabs.
fornicate with the crab.
This is horrific.
Juan,
I love it.
close his hand and reopen it, and from his opened hand, a massive penis will just erupt from his palm and go through the crab, sending illusory crab shell and juice everywhere.
This is just crass, my friend. I thought we were having a civilized, you know.
You started it. I'm simply finishing the game.
Very well.
Yeah, well, okay, so, listen, I do have something that I'm gonna need for you guys before I leave, I think, but I'll go grab some food really quick. Will you hold my spot?
Of course.
Wait. Grabs the dick and, like, stamps it on the table. It just kind of...
Gilby's gonna scamper off and find she'll load up her plate with a lot of pancake type options and bring it back over.
Okay.
When she's got all situated and take a seat between Poignet and Anders.
Wait, can you put it away?
Oh, we.
I like what you've done with the veins, though. That's actually, it's a nice little touch there.
You'll hear like a... as it fades. But like, it like throbs and then fades out of existence. Just...
Do not clip this. Not this one.
Just the throbbing part.
Yeah.
Just clip that.
Mister, and I'll need your help too. I don't know how long it'll take, but just before we leave.
Okay.
Thank you.
Speaking of mother, father, and then I'm assuming that Dusik is sitting near the head of the table with us.
He is to your father's left, so it's your mother, your father, and then he's next to him.
I think it's time to talk about the future of the kingdom. I've been thinking about it, and I think it's time for the Iron Fist legacy to move on. In our place, I wouldn't recommend a similar type of government. Something more spread out. I'll leave the details up to our friend here, Mr. Redspine, and of course to you two, but things need to change. It should have been impossible for a single infiltrator to come into our kingdom and to ruin the entire thing.
You see your parents look to one another and grasp each other's hands. They're right next to one another. You can see just an untenable amount of sorrow come across their faces. And embarrassment. With just like a twist of regret. Your father, you'll see, squeeze your mother's hand. Excuse me. And gently put his fork down and grasp his hands together in his lap. This shouldn't have happened at all. It's never happened. Shouldn't have. But it did. We were lost. We only had each other. He looks at your mother. She looks back. You can see that there's tears welling up in her eyes. With your brother gone. And you leaving. We had Helena. She was enough for us. You know her. She's more than enough for anyone. But then Taltak arrived and promised trade, and we weren't really so worried about fortune. It held a lot of promises, especially in the face of so much uncertainty out there. And then your sister left. We were alone. He looks to your mother again, just staring at her eyes. Talking to you, but to her at the same time. We're strong together. But we realized that there was a part of each of us that we left with the three of you. And to have you three gone was like ripping out the foundation of an already teetering home. Thanks to Taltak. And then he'll lock eyes with you again. It shouldn't have happened. And it never will again. Because you're right, change does need to happen. I think we'll still remain, of course. There's a lot of work to do. But Mr. Redspine here has a lot of good ideas. The people have a lot of good ideas. They've been dreaming about this for years, decades. So change will come, and the thrones may remain in the keep, but they're more symbols now. Not anything practical. I think we can combine our efforts. Perhaps have a combination of, democracy and monarchy at the same time. We've seen it happen. But it'll take time to iron things out, as it were.
Once we are all gone, it's paramount that Stonegarden survive. I will not return to be a king or a monarch, and neither will Helena.
Aye.
The last great king of Stonegarden died on his coronation night. So whatever form of government you come up with, make sure it can survive without us.
this point, your mother is like kind of remaining tight within herself. But you can see tears running down her cheek. It will be odd to not have the crown. Not to have an iron fist there to rule. But we haven't been ruling for decades. Been trying to.
There's a way to be influential without calling yourself king or queen.
Aye.
Return to our roots. Open up the brewery again. It's always been a dream. My dream.
Would
To
you
get
return
through.
should it open?
Perhaps. In time. We still have much work to do.
What work is that?
I'm making and Kelby like through a mouth of like pancakes, so she's just been stuffing her mouth. She's like, we're gonna save the world.
As my friend would put it, we're here to save the world.
Oh. Right. Come save your home, save the world afterwards, you know? Just a typical week for you, I guess.
Save the cheerleader somewhere in there too.
What's that?
That's someone who got it.
I knew what you meant.
Okay.
I got you. Your Majesties, excuse the interruption, but
It's fine.
I must ask, how did... What was her name? Taltak?
Taltak, yes.
How did she come to be in your service? Where did she come from?
She arrived with a group of people showcasing her skills as a leader for her group, but also with management. And she had an air of confidence about her that was kind of hard to resist.
But do you not know where she hailed from or anything beyond what she told you?
From what I understand, she came from the ruins of Draconia. Trying to spread her influence. Trying to reseat the power of the Dragonborn. She said that they had traveled along the mountain range to get here. We weren't their final destination, as far as we could tell.
And forgive me, this is a difficult question to ask, but, and I mean no disrespect, knowing your dwarven sensibilities, why would you accept the Dragonborn as your principal advisor?
Because they had dwarves with them in their group. Other families, other small monarch families as well, had joined in her stead as testimony. saying it wasn't their fault that Draconia fell, but that they had the wherewithal to instill something like it again. You all were too young to have been around when Draconia was still about. But it was one of the gems of Wildemount. Sure, their main leadership was faulty, but what came from the ruins were a group who did what they could to preserve what they had and reinstate themselves as a people. We found that honorable. We know now that them having dwarves in their group was more so a ploy than anything, in order to get to us and any other dwarven family that they found. We were weak-minded. Nearly as soon as Taltak arrived, Helena departed, saying she didn't want any part of it. Didn't say where she was going. And we balked. And regret it.
As I said, Your Majesty, I meant no disrespect. Any of us could be wooed by such things in such turbulent times, but it is important to understand. I mean, this person was very adept at certain magical things that seem to be outside the realm of possibility, so
Aye.
I'm just trying to understand as we go forward with our task to know how such a person could infiltrate such a grand society so quickly.
Right. Combination of their power and our regret, I suppose. Not too much to read between the lines with that. Just regret, sadness, loss, embarrassment.
No, these feelings are not warranted. You did nothing wrong. You trusted the wrong person. These are trying times. Thank you for your candor, though. And
Aye.
Anders go back to his breakfast.
Okay.
You said that Taltak came with a bunch of people. Are they still here, or did they keep going on?
Not many are left.
Did they call themselves anything? Like, I don't know, weird tentacly dragon lady name?
No. They didn't have a name.
You know what she was doing with all the gold and stuff?
As she described it on multiple occasions, rebuilding the wealth of Draconia.
Oh. Was she sending it somewhere, or was it just here?
Aye, she sent it away at first, in great waves. And then they just started producing too much. Imagine too much wealth. You saw it.
I mean, I gotta be honest with you, it kind of reaches a point where it stops. Like what is it even? It's just a mountain.
Yeah. Should that dragon have turned its face downward and actually been able to breathe fire, it would have been another mountain within the cavern. That's all it would have been.
Speaking of,
And Kelby's gonna reach in her pocket and pull out the little gem that fell in her pocket and kind of set it on the table.
I didn't mean to take this. It fell in my pocket. And if it belongs here, I want to make sure that I give it back.
No, keep it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And she'll like big grin, pick it back up on the table and stick it back in her pocket.
Speaking of which, the queen will like turn around and like clap for a servant to come over. And they will have actually several servants come by with platters with massive pouches on them and extend them in front of each of you. It's a gesture.
Kwani will open up his first.
Sitting there and counting, you would count 300 platinum, 4,000 gold, and a mix of gems.
Have you not lost enough gold for one lifetime? That you must don it to us? Not that I am complaining as I finger through the coins.
We have enough to rebuild, and then some.
I'm sorry, there's one of those for each of us?
Yes. You each get a pouch of 300 platinum, 4,000 gold, and an assortment of gems. I will allow you some agency to pick 3 ideal gems, each worth 1,000 gold. Take your pick. Dealer's choice.
Fuck. Okay.
3 diamonds it is.
Mm-hmm.
How many gems was it?
3. Each worth
3
1,000
gems.
gold. Yep.
On top of one that we may or may not have already received?
Yep.
Okay.
The only one to convert.
Absolutely has in their own possession right now. Mm-hmm.
Kelby, like when she opens the bag, her eyes just get really wide, and she looks around like, "Is this for frickin' real?" And then, like, closes the bag and tries to lift it up off the platter, and where it kind of sits in her lap.
Thank you very much.
And then she just kind of like sits there, eyes like darting back and forth as she's like, how do you spend this much money? Like, what do you do to spend this much money? How to spend, what to do, how many coats can buy, how many.
I have math to do.
I'm afraid of that.
I'm going to need your totals in the chat, if you don't mind. Thank you.
Everyone's? Oh, God.
Yeah, everybody's. Thank you. Yep.
Fuck.
When you have time.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In my travels, I've come across the realization that everybody deserves a second chance. And whereas my second chance for you will be perhaps one day I will return. I offer you a second. Helena's in Uthodurn.
You see your mother, like, drop her fork on her plate. Really? We searched there. We searched there, Rome, didn't we? And he'll, like, nod over at your mom. We may have been under house arrest as it was, but still had people out there working for us, searching for your sister.
I received a message from her. Somehow. I'm still not sure. She is an Uthodine. She told me that Stonegarden was, well, how it was.
So she knows. Shite.
Now that everything is set somewhat right, perhaps she'll give you a second chance. A shot at redemption.
Your mother very quickly grasps your father's hand, still staring at you with this revelation of news.
That's up to you.
You see your father turn around really quickly and address someone who, like, takes out parchment and quill, writes something down, and heads off. We'll find her. Bring her home.
If she wants to.
If she wants to, of course.
Oh, the food was fantastic. Thank you for these boons.
Of course. It is quite literally the least we could do.
We do need to move on.
So soon.
Eventually.
I see. When might we see you again?
If all goes well.
It will not.
If all goes well, you'll see me before today. If all goes sour,
confusing.
It will.
You'll see me soon.
Bye. Okay. As you guys are having this conversation, like page boy runs up to you with a small pouch. Your order, sir.
Thank you. And I take the pouch and open it up and pull out 10 refined diamonds, and I place them into slots on my gauntlets that I have now. Well, make use of the gifts that we are given. This should help if one of us gets a little too hurt. Hopefully it doesn't come to that.
The fact that it has not come to that yet is horrifying to me.
Well, we'll see.
You see your father, like, kind of sit back in his seat, still holding onto your mother's hand, and size you up again. You look strong. Stronger. Still too young, or whatever it is you were speaking of, but you'd fit it well.
I've had to be strong. Had to get strong. After I left here, travel. And I've gotten even stronger. Because of my friends. For my friends. Each person you see in front of you today has great things to do. Not only on our combined quest, but in their lives. Take Kelby, for instance. Kelby here is going to be the greatest performer the world has ever seen.
Yes, you know.
Indeed.
Damn straight.
Anders is going to finish our quest and return home and to keep fighting threats just like this. Perhaps even more nefarious. And Poigny, someday Poigny is going to realize that this isn't a dream.
And when I wake up from this dream, I will come back and be Miss Twin's father.
See the queen blush a little bit, kind of.
My apologies. 'Twas the magic.
I understand. It's fine.
Takes a very long pull from the bottle he's holding.
Don't let his chicanery fool you. He's got a sweet heart. He needs as fierce a friend as any. There is one other. One that's not with us today.
Are they alright?
I don't know. I have faith that they will rejoin us eventually.
Considering the folk that you keep near you, you'd only assume that they're of good heart.
He's got the biggest heart of all. Figuratively and literally, he is a very large person.
Oh. Good to know.
And his dream is to travel everywhere. See everything. It's just my hope that I can make all of these dreams happen. That's all. And once I do, then I can come back.
Considering what you've all done together, I can only assume that you'll all work together to achieve these dreams. And save the world, as you say. Just don't forget who you are. And don't forget each other. Rely on one another. Find your strengths in one another. Which you so clearly have. Continue that. Never let that go. Never.
I won't.
Good.
Kelby, you done anything?
Yeah.
You look at her plate, which was like, during part of that, she absolutely like tilted forward and licked all of the syrup off of. Some of it's in her hair.
What do you think? You think performing the ballad in front of a king and queen is on your bucket list?
Well, I mean, it might be. I could be convinced.
Just one more notch in the belt of the greatest performer ever to live.
She shrugs. and looks at the king and queen.
Would you like something like that?
You see them both kind of like relax in their chairs a bit. I think music would be perfect.
Kelby will then go,
Okay.
and she'll, like, without moving the chair back, will just hop up on her feet and then climb up on the table, like using Poignier's shoulder to like help her out. Like, oh, sorry, Poignier, as he's like taking a long like drink of wine, kind of sloshing the bottle a little bit. And she'll climb up on the table and look down one way and then at the king and queen. And at the top of her lungs yell, "Attention, everyone! Attention, hello! Yes, hello! I'm going to need..." Oh, they're not being very quiet.
As soon as you say attention, because I've been playing with this puzzle box for about an hour, I rolled my check and my save, and I failed both.
Amazing.
So as soon as you say attention, like a loud scream emits from the box that I'm holding, and sends out kind of a shockwave that kind of throws all the plates and glasses by the wayside. I take 42 psychic damage.
Oh my god.
Oh shit.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I failed the check. What can I say?
Damn.
This loud scream kind of emits that I imagine gathers everyone's attention as like Poigny sits like slack-eyed and drooling out the corner of his mouth.
Oh no.
And Kelly will just, don't worry about that. He does that sometimes. It's good for him, I think. Anyways, hi, hello. My name is Kelby Sparkspinner, and she'll bow and do a little minor illusion so it looks like starlight like shines behind her, and then she'll kind of flick her fingers and cast another minor illusion of like a little storm cloud around Poignier's face so people can't see that he's drooling. And Kelby will say, now that I have your attention, thanks to my wonderful assistant Poigney, we can now start celebrating the real way. But first, I'll start with a song I wrote here, actually, in Stonegarden. One that came to me in the night, in sort of a dream.
And Kelby will start playing on her lute, plucking out the strings in a very repetitive tone, and she'll begin to sing. You show the lights that hold me, moonlight shone. You shine them when I'm alone. And so I tell myself that I'll write a song and sing it when you're gone, because they're calling me home. And it's somber, but upbeat. There's a dark undertone to it. And almost there's a sadness to it, even though like the tune tickles at your ears and makes you kind of want to dance a little bit. And as that rings out, Kelby will gauge the audience's reaction.
People are very clearly paying attention. Not only because of the shifuckery that happened with Poignier,
Yeah.
but you being able to hold a tune perfectly, it like echoes in here. Not as loudly as you would think for how big of a hall this is, because there's quite a bit of like carpeting and tapestries about to kind of dull the noise. But it's enough that it carries all the way to the other end of the hall with like no loss in the sound. So you see people close to the table to where you are gathering food, and people further down the line all just enraptured in what you're doing.
And Kelby will grin and look at the king and queen and give a little wink before launching into one of her many songs that she's written along this adventure. Singing, just do a little set. She will traipse up and down the table, high kicking, using minor illusion for different callback sounds. One of which will be the voice of Pumpkin when she sings the turtle hides in fright, and the many various songs that she's done. I rolled a 21 on my performance check as well.
Excellent. You see people like break off from the line and kind of like start getting into it. People, like having like a milkshake in one hand and a plate full of food in the other, just kind of like vibing off in the corner. Everyone in this room is captivated by your performance, whether they're, just kind of like lightly nodding their head, or like some of the kids in the room are fucking losing their minds and trying to get close enough to the table to like get a front row show here. And more specifically, the king and the queen are both sitting there, kind of sentinel in nature, as is a habit, but as the performances continue and the songs like ramp up in silliness, you'll see King Brahm smile, and Queen Ophelia like lean against him and put her head on his shoulder. They're both just people during this. They're not the king and the queen. They're not people trying to rebuild a kingdom. They're not doing anything else other than absorbing the performance in front of them. And that's enough for them.
Once Kelby is done, I'm going to stand up on my chair with a brass plate, and I'm going to bang on it to get everybody's attention.
People pay attention.
And I'm just going to say, now, it's been a long time, clearly, but the old traditions must be honored. It is tradition for a great feast such as this, for the first Troverettes to perform, for royalty of this hall to have the honor of giving them the title of the Horn of Stonegarden. And with the King and Queen's permission, I, Mr. Iron Fist, as my last act as Prince, give my friend Kelby this honor. So, Kelby, Horn of Stonegarden, may your lungs always sing true. You've enraptured one kingdom today, the world tomorrow. I'll sit down.
I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, Kelby just like her eyes wide, like tears. She has a grin on her face, but you can see that her eyes are filling with tears as this happens, and she looks at Anders and Poignet, who I'm assuming is like starting to come to. And she'll carefully wipe at her eyes a little bit before turning back to the crowd and throwing both of her arms out as wide as they can go and doing a perfect bow over the table and standing up with her eyes towards the ceiling and just turn around to the king and queen and again low bow.
Thank you. It is an honor.
And the queen nods towards you and says that the honor is ours, Kelby Sparkspinner.
Yeah, she'll then take a couple of careful steps over to kind of hop down in her chair, holding a hand out to Anders for help down. And once she's in her chair, she'll look at Anders like, "You believe that just happened?" Before turning to Pointy and going,
Hey, buddy, are you okay? There's a little blood coming out of your ears.
There's like black tears coming out of his eyes as he like looks at you, and she goes, "You are a horn now."
Listen, you work with what they give you. You want to play a letter swap game later? Might be kind of fun.
Sure, as soon as somebody answers that phone.
What's a phone?
Right, wrong timeline. Never mind.
Oh.
What about you? Do you feel any I would regret this joke.
I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it.
Now that you have performed, do you feel any more horny?
I knew it was coming. I knew it.
You know, it's funny that you should ask Pointy, because I believe the level of horny is likely to fluctuate over time and given the audience. You know, in some circumstances, you'll probably be more horny. I think this particular hall was really horny for this horn, if you know what I mean, given the amount of applause that I got. But I imagine that other places will be a little bit more difficult to horn down on. You know?
Oui. So I suppose if this is a title that is to precede you, that the name Horn of Stonegarden might be a little misleading.
Well, that's what the letter game is for.
Ah. We shall workshop it then.
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Do.
This phone is
no.
still ringing. Hello?
I'm just gonna pop a quick aura of vitality
Perfect.
to get 20d6 healing
Oh,
to
yeah, that'll do
Pointy.
it.
So,
20d6?
yeah, it's up for a minute. 2d6
Oh, damn.
around.
The book.
It's the greatest healing spell in the game.
Very
Roll
good.
all
That's a
20 of those
Tasha's
now.
one, right?
Bam.
I don't know.
If you look at your spell list
And I
it has
crashed
a
the
little
website.
plus sign next to it, means it's from Tasha's.
amazing.
I crashed the website.
It is
It's showing us
rejecting you.
59.
It cannot handle 20d6.
Just like, ugh.
It did roll it though. Okay, cool.
No,
Did-
I think it's a standard
Oh, okay.
standard one, but
I'm
it's
thinking of a
only
different aura.
it's only for paladins.
Okay, okay.
That's why it's not seen very often.
Fair.
I mean, it was 10 short of being awesome.
It was 10 short of being awesome. Unfortunate. Very unfortunate.
So close.
Damn it. As Poignet is revitalized and restored here, thinking that they hear some strange contraption, you do actually hear something. You hear another voice in your head. Another voice that is unfamiliar to you. This one kind of echoes a little bit. And it says, I found you. Get your ass back to Zadash right now, Poignet. There's a 437 gold tab and a tavern room to repair. I'm waiting.
I'm gonna try to respond mentally so that no one here thinks that I've knocked a screw loose with that infernal puzzle box. I'm going to think very hard. Who is this? Hello?
You hear nothing back.
I lost my fucking mind. Stupid.
Do you think some horns would help?
And Kelby will reach up and flick the end of your horn.
It sounds like a tuning fork, and I
Hell
mute
yeah.
it.
Kelby is like bright eyes, like she's just discovered the most amazing thing.
Well,
Give a bard a tuning fork.
never trust a dwarf to take you to rock bottom because they will break out the pickaxe.
You know, if we stretch some string across Borgne's horns, you could probably make a lute out of it.
It wouldn't be better than mine.
Fair.
If everything kind of looks like it's winding down, Kelby will lean over to Anders.
Anders, do you think we're going to be leaving soon?
I think we probably should. Things wrapped up here. We must continue on our journey. We have much to do.
Before we go,
Kelby is gonna like get up out of her chair and just
think I'm done here now. Can you all meet me in my Miss Rin, is there a place that we can sit where it can be quiet?
Hey, we can meet in my room.
Okay.
It's far enough away.
Okay. I'll head there now. I think I need to grab some things, but can you all meet me there later? But before we leave.
Hi.
Great. Thank you.
and Kelby will hop down from her chair, giving a final bow to the king and queen, and will saunter down towards the exit, waving at people as she passes, finger gunning.
Some people are confused by that gesture, and like a couple kids will be like, "Yeah."
As they do it back to her, she'll make it. She'll minor illusion like little sparks coming out of their fingers.
They're just like, "Whoa!" and trying to grasp at them.
Mm-hmm. And she'll make her way out towards her own room to gather a few things.
So, what's everyone up to?
Well, I want to get to what Kelby has planned for us, but real quick. As we're still sitting at the table with my parents, I just want to lean over and ask, I've been carrying around this sword, Elias's sword, for the better part of 20 years or so. I suppose to you it would be 50 or so, but do you know where the other half of it is? I mean, I've been keeping it as my, somewhat more of a memento than it for its effectiveness, but I've always thought it would be nice if I could rejoin the two halves. I don't know if you've figured out where it went.
You asking mom or dad? Sorry.
I guess Dad.
Okay. Would you be asking him individually or him while in the presence of your mom?
Both, yeah.
Okay. The other half of the sword. Kept it locked away for a really long time, somewhere kind of lost to the family. Last I heard, your sister was looking for it. She might know.
see.
But knowing that she's been out there for some time, looking for it, and you have the other half, I have something for you that might help. A
Oh,
little.
what's
Actually,
that?
Dusik found it. He wanted to give it to you. And he'll, like, wave over Mr. Redspine, who will, like, you know, kind of prim and proper find his way over to the group here. And he'll very briefly explain the situation, and Dusik will just, like, nod intently, search through his satchel, and produce a small leather pouch. Excuse me. Not much bigger than, like, your fist. And just kind of hold it there, looking between you two, and then just, like, hand it over.
What's this?
This is something that was lost a long time ago that we just found. Captivated, rather. Hi, Nat One Fun. Thank you for the raid. Welcome on in. Hope you had a good stream.
Whoop, whoop.
This is the illustrious Stonegarden flux that is supposed to help with weapon crafting, but specifically with rejoining. We thought it was all but depleted, but we found a vein, a very, very small amount.
Is this all that's left? Or is there still more?
This is all that's left. Now it's yours.
Like, it's a great gift. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I know you'll use it wisely.
Well, I hope we are able to come across Helena at some point. I hope you're able to find her as well.
Well, we sent out word, and our network out there can look for her. I told her that you were here and that you're on your own journey. So perhaps she'll come back here. Perhaps she'll remain in Uthadern. Remains to be seen. It's up to her, after all.
It is. It always is.
Now that you know where she is, too, don't be afraid to reach out. She's been there for decades now, at this point.
Well, I'm sure that no matter what, we'll cross paths eventually.
Aye.
Whether it's in Uthadern or not. Something tells me that family finds its way back to each other.
Always. Might take some time, but always.
It's been 50 years or so. I'm going to pull out the urn and place it on the table in front of them.
They'll tense up a bit.
I'll be back to get him, but if there's anything you'd like to say before we leave again, I still think sometimes that he can hear me. So, and I get up and head towards my chambers.
Should you turn around, you would see Dusik Redspine bow out of the conversation, and your mother and father, hand in hand, get on their knees and look like they're essentially praying or at the very least internalizing the emotion that they can't quite express at this point. They're catching up, is what they're doing. You go and meet everyone else?
Mhm.
Okay. Where is everyone else?
Fully packed already. Poigny will have just meandered on his way to Mistwind's room. Probably collecting a bottle or two on the way up. As he broke the last one he was holding.
Okay. Easy enough to find. Anders, Kelby, what are you guys doing?
Anders should go first.
I mean, if we were prepping to leave, he would just pack up his things and head to the whatever meeting place we had set. Nothing else special.
Okay. And Kelby?
I think the way it would look, because Kelby left earlier than everyone else, she would have gone to her room and kind of muttering to herself, grabbed a couple of things, and it would kind of like fade out on that scene, and we can reopen with everyone kind of walking in to Miss Wynn's room, or if they're like coming in one by one. But the first person in there would see Kelby walking back and forth, kind of muttering, well, no, maybe it needs to go here. What did they say? It needed... Okay, yeah, and she'd be muttering to herself and like moving stuff on the floor, and like stuff just being like her spell focus. She'd like pick it up and set it down, and no, it needed to be to here, and then I don't think and she'd be kind of walking around the room as if she's preparing it for something.
Okay. And that's what everyone sees as you all walk into this space, seeing Kelby preparing for something.
You look lost.
Oh, you're here. Okay, I mean, aren't we all a little bit, I guess? I mean, that's something else. But lyric though. And she'll move over to where she's pulled pillows and blankets off of Miss Wynn's bed and put them on the floor. And she says, there's no real way to explain this in a way that makes sense other than the spirits told me that I have something I need to do. And I need your help.
Okay. What's he doing?
Pointing at the bed sheets that you're picking up in your hand. I'm not wearing that.
Oh, no. This is so your butt doesn't go to sleep.
And she'll kind of wad it up and put it like on the floor before walking. And she's got like 3 different spots with her spell focus in the middle. And she'll take a seat at the head of the circle, her legs crossed over, and look up at all of you.
Well, come on, come sit.
Okay.
And is my stomach
Yes,
turned into
sit.
nuts? One you
Yeah.
sit.
So, here's the deal. The spirits say that they have something for me, but it takes time for them to tell me, and I have to do. I have to do this, but I can't do it by myself. I need you all to hold a note. You don't have to sing it, you don't have to hum it, but if that helps, you can do that. But I need you to just have a note in your mind While we're sitting here, and we probably have to hold hands.
Are you wanting us to harmonize with you, Kelby?
Kind of. But like with your spirit, if that makes sense.
And I think Poigny is probably the natural bass of the group. I'm more of a baritone myself.
I don't know if that'll super matter. They didn't really say anything about what key it needs to be in or anything. Just, I need a place of song.
It is unwise for me to sing when Legion opens their diaphragms to sing and vibrates their vocal cords. It tends to open portals to places undesirable.
Well, that sounds very exciting, and I'm actually very disappointed that this is the first I'm hearing about your portal music. Hello, rude. But I don't think you actually have to sing. I think if you just hold a note in your heart or in your head, that should be enough. It's going to take a while, though.
That's fine.
Is that okay, Anders?
Anders just sits down, crosses his legs, clasps his fingers together, and just pictures his friendship with Kelby. And that's what he focuses on.
Do you have assigned notes for us, or are we to pick one at random?
Well, if you will allow me, Kelby will lean forward on her hand and flick your horn so it creates a tone for you.
That one's pretty nice, if you ask me.
I cannot reach this register. However, and he pulls out his little tarot deck and he grabs the Fool and he flicks it onto the ground and it hits the floor, and in a puff of smoke erupts from the card, and Dwa is standing there. But Dwa can. Dwa. Ping! And Dwa will like fold his hands in front of his chest and stand up very straight.
Does he get a little cummerbund and a bow tie?
Yep. Oh yeah, no. He like realizes what's happening and like shimmers onto himself like a full little tail tuxedo with top hat.
Does he have a little? Does he have a little balloon that he?
Oh no. His range is a lot wider than the one that you've heard before. But yeah, he places his hands in front of his chest, straightens up, and just goes and holds that note for as long as needed.
What about Miss Swin? I'm very curious.
There was a note that Kelby sang that held for a bit during her performance this morning. That seemed to resonate pretty well with the acoustics of the hall and with all the clapping and cheering and seeing the happiness from my parents and the people around us. I think that's the note that he would hold.
Kelby sits in her spot, and as Dwa kind of like holds the note, she'll look at him and kind of like motion for him to like be a little bit quieter, like still keep the tone, but like quieter. And Kelby will look at the spell focus in the center, and as Dwa holds that note, she will start playing a melody around it, so it acts as like the anchoring tone. And without explaining further, she'll close her eyes as the four of us sit there and perform a spirit session. The spirits provide me with supernatural insights. I can conduct an hour-long ritual channeling spirits using my spiritual focus. I conduct the ritual with a number of willing creatures equal to my proficiency bonus, including myself. At the end of the ritual, I temporarily learn one spell of my choice from any class. As Kelby sits there, her mind's kind of wanders, and as it does, she feels like as the four of them are sitting there, more entities kind of show up, and she opens her eyes, and they're just pure starlight as she watches these entities come down and touch the spell focus and get up and walk away, one after another, each one whispering a few words. And as one of them does, the shape of it reminds her of Turley as they reach down and touch the little focus and continue on. And without realizing it, the melody she plays shifts a little bit as she just really begins to miss Turley, and like in a way that aches and hurts. As the session is coming to a close and she watches as the final spiritual form comes through and touches it, the spiritual form like looks at her, kind of like leaning its head to the side, and she'll nod, and it will pick up the spell focus, which will like hover and come and rest in her lap. And as it does, Kelby is going to cast Sending.
Turley, we're safe. We saw a dragon. Anders says we're friends. When he apologized, Mistwin saved Stonegarden. I'm a horn. I miss you. Wildly. Love Kelby.
And with that, all of the sound in the room will kind of like waver for a second. And Dwa will kind of feel compelled to drop his note as Kelby stops playing on her lute. And she'll open her eyes, and you'll see that she's crying.
Thanks, everybody. I think that worked. This might have to be a normal thing. You don't have to help me if you don't want to, but I'd really appreciate it. It helps remember their stories.
Does it do anything extra if more of us do it or less of us do it? Or...
I think the more people that help, the more notes, the more stories they can tell. It makes it more powerful, I guess.
You saw spirits?
Kelby will awkwardly like look at Anders and then back at Mistwin.
I think so. I've been seeing them for a while now. They tell me things.
Have you, you haven't seen a dwarf, have you?
I've seen a lot. Why?
I've seen one that looks like me.
I don't think so. No. They come and they tell me their stories. Most of the time, it's at night in my dreams. And when I wake up, it's like they're a part of me now.
Okay. I hope Turley got the message. I hope he finds us soon. Is everybody ready to go?
Yes, I think it is time.
Queenie,
I suppose it's about time. Yes?
why are you laughing?
No particular reason.
So a non-specific reason then.
We.
Really quick, Kelby, you will note that you do not get a response from Charlie. It's been received, but no response.
That's okay. Kelby will kind of sigh and go, well, and slap her hands on her thighs before standing up.
I'll go get my stuff, and then we should probably get going. We've lost some time here.
Do we want to go up and over or through the mountain again?
I mean, this
I mean,
is
it
kind of
was-
your rodeo.
It was quite cold outside, so I think through is probably better, yes?
Well, it'll be a lot colder if we go up. So, I mean, I'm
Right.
used to it, but we'll go through the mountain. I'll have to check to see if. I think we'll be
I
fine.
mean, as long as all the dragons have been cleared out, you know.
Right. I'm sure it's fine.
How many
Are you
dragons can
though?
fit in a mountain?
Quite a few.
Depends on how hard you throw them.
I mean, if you make them bigger, they don't fit, so...
If you make them smaller, a lot can fit.
I guess it is
True.
all relative.
Typically, though, dragons are territorial, so I wouldn't count on too many being in one mountain. They'd probably fight each other for the space.
Hmm.
Distracts. Alonzi! And Pointy will leave the room.
Yeah, Kelby will just grin and march out behind Poigny, kind of like a little bit exaggerated, lifting her elbows too high in almost like a mocking fashion behind Poigny.
Once out in the hallway, Pointy will be like, Dwa! And Dwa will flutter and kind of scamper out the door.
I'll say my goodbyes and collect the urn. Nothing too much, just simple goodbyes.
Mm-hmm. Your mother will hold you in a hug for as long as she can. Your father will give you a brief hug and a clap on the shoulder while like reinserting the urn into the fixture that you have at your side. He'll do it for you.
Take care of the place while I'm gone. Hopefully, the waterfalls will flow and the green can come back. That's always been my favorite part of this place.
That's what we're hoping for too. Got some clearing up to do.
We're going to take the western mine shaft towards the other end of the mountain. Is it still operational?
Yes. There's actually, it's steam powered over there. If you'd like to take it, it'll be a lot faster.
Oh, wow.
I think we'll keep that just for the mines. We don't plan on mining anytime soon, but you know, the mine shafts themselves to get around a lot faster.
And I think there's some elements of what's been installed that, if used differently, can probably benefit the society, but less, much less.
Much less. Yes, that's what we're hoping for.
All right. Well,
Please stay safe. I'm going to say that one more time. Please stay safe. Please.
I can't stop going until I find a place for Elias. So I will stay safe.
Do your best. That's all we ask. and visit when you can.
I'll try. All right. Off I go. I grab a sweet roll from the table as I wait.
Excellent. Yeah, you guys are able to like pack as much food as you'd like. A lot of the like perishable goods have been kind of picked through clean, but a lot of the stuff that lasts a lot longer remains. So very easily able to like re-up on your rations and all that. Don't need to worry about it, but sweet roll, 100%, dude.
Hell yeah.
Fall. Off in the distance, you hear a full set
Ball,
of plate mail armor fall down, followed by the distant yelling of "Idiot! Arrêtez de voler, doigt!"
Wait, hold on. Plate mail. I have use for plate mail.
It's like
Decorative. and rusty.
decorative, really thin,
Damn you.
shitty.
Fine.
You've got like 1 billion gold now. Just buy some.
Yeah, we just got 4,000 gold. I don't want to spend 1,500 on plate mail. Plus pandemic prices, my dude. Come
Oh my
on.
god.
No,
Increased cost of iron. Yeah,
dude. It doesn't exist in here.
you gotta pay the piper.
No,
This world doesn't
instead-
have that.
Yeah.
Not in my fantasy.
instead,
There's
it's the
those
apocalypse.
economics again.
Yeah.
Get it
economics.
out.
Get that
No.
shit out of my game. We can bring the apocalypse in, no problem. Pandemic, economics, get the fuck out.
No. Absolutely not.
This is the part of D&D that's fun for me, you guys. Stop yucking my yum.
Did you do the calculations, or are you
Nobody
waiting
gave me
on
their
them?
fucking gold.
Okay,
bro.
okay.
No.
I
we're-
need
we're
everybody's
bastards.
fucking gold.
Well, do it after.
Your fucking gold. All right.
So I think we're ready to go.
Fantastic.
Okay, from here.
Wonderful. It is easy enough to do. God. I love you guys so much. Okay, yeah. Easy enough to find the expedited version of the mine shaft to get the heck out of Dodge. It still takes you like an hour and a half of riding this thing at top speed to get out. This mountain's huge. It's massive. It's gonna take some time. You, Miss Owen, would also know that the mine shaft exits at like the foothills. So it's not even in the mountains anymore. That's why it takes so long, is because it's like winding through all of these pathways to make it as accessible as possible. Because, you know, dwarves are cool in mountains, but like climbing them takes a long time. So they try and make it as easy as they
And
can.
we have stubby legs.
Yee. All up.
Can you?
Yes.
Do you mind pulling up the map
Oh, yeah.
in Roll20?
Sure.
Just so we know where we are.
Let's- Okay, Menagerie Coast, perhaps? I'm trying to find a
That should
good
work.
version. I might even just do the big ol' map. Yeah, let me do that. Not gonna screw with the music, is it? No, it's not. Okay. Hey, chat, do you want to see what we're seeing? Hang on. Oh, shit. Just kidding. That's my desktop. 1 second. Hang on. Well, come back here. Come back here. 1 second. Secrets.
Hey now.
All right. Come hang out. A map. So y'all would know that Stonegarden is roughly in this general vicinity here. Just about. And it took you a while to get in from Copia Lake, which is right here. You're trying to get to the other side, over here. So yeah, you have I'd say even like looking at this map, it would probably dump you like a little bit further into like this plains area because of how the foothills are structured. But you're a bit far away from like, well, actually no, there's a visible road here that you can kind of see, this like little scratchy scratch on the map there. That's a road. So you're pretty close to it. It would probably take you the remainder of the day from the exit of the western passageway to get to that road and kind of make your way out there.
Would I know if there's any nearby towns on this side?
Roll a history check.
Yeah, that's gonna go well. 17.
17. Let me look really quick. Because even I do not know. I should know this. I don't think there's any, like, major city or anything over here. It's pretty desolate. There's, like, small villages along that pathway and along that river and kind of up in that lake area up here, but nothing really noticeable. You would know that this road is kind of a major pathway between Tal'Dorei and the Menagerie Coast over to Wildemount, other than like the major port cities, because of how close in proximity Tal'Dorei and Wildemount are to one another. You can like throw a rock and hit the other one. Not really, but you know, close enough that someone could very quickly sail from the eastern side of Tal'Dorei over to Wildemount and then use that route if they wanted to take that route all the way down the Menagerie Coast to, like, you know, get to Nicodranus or something. So, yeah, so there's small villages along the way.
So where are we headed next on this carousel of horrors?
I mean, we must make it to the Lushgut Forest, yes? That is where we are supposed to go.
Where is this Lushgut Forest located?
It's probably week, 2-week travel west and north. Maybe less, depending on how fast we go.
You'd know it's about a week. Kelby would know it's about a week.
It's where we need to go will be about a week. If I have figured out the distances right. It's still hard knowing exactly how far apart things are out here.
We'll figure it out once we leave the mountain.
Hey.
And can see the sky again.
Speaking of, now that we're out of the mountain, and I do a big whistle, and bounding out from the nearby brush is a very large Saint Bernard. Oh, Fergus, hey boy.
He's all
Oh,
happy,
dear.
wagging his tail, licks your face a bunch.
Poor sad creature clings to life.
Ah,
So bad, I guess. Not as big as a dragon.
not as big as a dragon. Yet.
Mon Dieu, will it actually grow to the size of a dragon?
Can it get it?
I don't know. I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? What do you mean you don't know?
I mean, I suppose if we keep feeding him, more and more food, and he eventually starts to eat random cows and sheep. Of
Is
the
this
nearby
horrible
farmers.
monstrosity a Dragolich?
What's a dracolich?
I don't think so.
You play a
Fergus, are you a-
dangerous
are
game
you
with
a-
your necromancy, young friend.
Fergus, are you a Dracolich?
He just like stares at you and kind of like loses focus off in the distance.
Is that
I
like
did
a vampire?
You did not say no.
Just full butterfly.
Yeah, just like eyes kind of go across a little.
Kelby, a Dracolich is not like a vampire. Well, I guess they are like vampires in the sense that they are both dead. Yes?
I mean, I
Long
guess.
dead. Decrepit and rotting. Fergus here is in his infant stage.
I think he just needs a bath.
I wouldn't. You'll probably wash away a lot of the good, healthy flesh.
Oh,
Kelby will offer a timid hand, like out to Fergus. Like kind of like
He goes up and sniffs it, and then just nuzzles his head into your hand.
she'll kind of like scratch his head, and like as he like leans reflexively forward, like kind of get behind his ear.
okay, that's enough for now, Fergus. We're just baby steps, okay? Anders, you ready to go?
Of course, we have a long way to go. We must get going.
But at least our path is the same, right?
Yes, right now our paths is the same.
And Kelby, without waiting, is just gonna start marching down the road.
Follow the gnome to the Lushgut Forest.
It's where all the hornies are.
I thought you were the only horny. Didn't you just get this title from this dwarf?
Oh, well, I thought it was funny. Thanks for ruining my joke, though, you dick.
Excellent.
In travel we do.
Maybe we should all have titles. Maybe Poignant can be Slayer of Jokes. How does that sound?
Well, would not call myself a slayer of jokes. I will have earned that title, of course, when I have killed you all.
Oh, haha, very funny. That one was very good, you son of a bitch.
Oh,
You can certainly try.
How does a forest get the name Gush Slut, by the way?
It's Lushgut.
Oh. Well,
Who can know these things? Not me.
my imagination was much more entertaining than... Never mind.
Mm.
you know, you guys are all right. Just all right.
I don't know. That's not what some fancy prince told me.
I don't know who this prince is that you're speaking of. I know no princes.
Oh, well, I used to know one. He said very
mean,
nice things about me.
I think we all know one.
Yes, it's Turley, Prince of the Road.
No, he's king of the road. It's different.
Oh, well, that's right. Ah, well,
You son of a bitch! I knew that was you!
What?
Yeah, who are you talking to?
Never mind. It's a long story, and best told over a bowl of turtle soup!
Well, we have a
I'll
week
explain later.
of travel, so continue, please.
It all started when I met these crazy fucking assholes in the middle of a town that I thought was an illusion. Fade to
Go
black as
on.
I recount the last 10 days of our trip together to them.
In travel,
Really is.
you do. You end up on the road fairly soon after exiting the western mineshaft and begin your trek westward and northward up into the Lushgut Forest. And I think that's a good place to end the session for tonight. Yay!
Very good.
did it.
Very good.
Round of applause.
Kelby actually got quite a few things. And one of which would require group participation.
So not only did she get to
Oh,
69 nice HP, but she also
are we having
requires-
we're having a group session? Are we? All right, let's go.
All right. So
Calm down.
I think the way it would play out though, it doesn't have to happen. Oh my god.
It can happen
We'll get to
whenever
it.
you're all comfortable.
Okay, we should wait
It's
for
gonna happen
Tyler.
later. No, it's gonna happen
Everybody's
later.
Hands up. Hands up.
I am gonna require some assistance, but we'll get to it when we get to it. GM,
I'm just moistening my
please
fingertips. don't worry.
release us from this orgy prison that my friends have made for me.
What happens in the Lushgut?
Listen,
stays
you
in
laid the
Lushgut.
foundation, all right? That's all I'm going to say about that.
Listen, I love this group so much. I would do anything. Anything.
Come home, Papa.
Oh, yeah. You went out for cigarettes like 6 months ago and we miss you.
We have
Come
no
back.
milk. All of our cereal's been eaten since milk, Papa. Come home. Mommy's new boyfriend is loud and angry. You son of a bitch! I knew that was you.
What?
Yeah, who are you talking to?
Never mind. It's a long story, and best told over a bowl of turtle soup.